The USS Horizon cut through the void of deep space, its sensors probing the darkness beyond human-charted territory. Commander Olivia Santos stood on the bridge, her dark eyes fixed on the holographic display showing an anomalous energy signature 20,000 kilometers ahead. "What do you make of it, Raj?" she asked her science officer. Lieutenant Raj Patel adjusted his spectacles, his fingers dancing across the sensor controls. "It's like nothing in our database, Commander. The energy pattern suggests some kind of propulsion system, but it's heavily degraded. Whatever it is, it's failing fast." The bridge crew watched as the mysterious signal flickered like a dying star. Olivia had led deep space research missions for 8 years, but something about this signature made her skin prickle with anticipation. "Take us closer, Helm. Maximum sensor resolution." As the horizon closed the distance, the ship's AI enhanced the visual feed. The image crystallized to reveal a vessel unlike anything humanity had encountered before. Its hull seemed to be made of crystalline materials that shifted colors in the starlight, but large sections were blackened and broken. "Life signs?" Olivia's voice was barely above a whisper. "3, Commander," Raj replied, his voice tight with concern. "But they're weak and fading. The ship's atmosphere is venting into space." Before Olivia could respond, a transmission cut through the ship's comm system. The universal translator struggled for a moment before rendering the words, "Please, help us. They're coming. Our children, our future, please." The message repeated, growing weaker with each iteration. Olivia's first officer, Commander David Walsh, stepped forward. "Commander, we should contact Earth Command before proceeding. This could be a first contact situation. There are protocols." "There's no time," Olivia cut him off, her jaw set with determination. "Those life signs are failing. Raj, can we get a transporter lock?" "Negative, Commander. Their hull material is interfering with our targeting scanners. We'd need to get within 500 meters and extend our shield bubble around their vessel." "The closer we get, the greater the risk," David warned. "We don't know what caused their damage. This could be a trap." Olivia studied the dying ship, remembering the words that had earned her command of the Horizon. "The true measure of humanity isn't just our technological achievements, but our willingness to reach out to others in their darkest moments." "Launch rescue pods 1 through 3, she ordered. "I'll lead the boarding team myself." "Commander," David protested, "regulations clearly state." "Note your objection in the log, David. But I'm not watching anyone die today when we have the power to help." She turned to her crew. "Dr. Yuki, grab your emergency kit and meet me in the launch bay. Raj, you're with us. We'll need your expertise to interface with their systems." Minutes later, Olivia found herself piloting a rescue pod toward the alien vessel, her heart pounding with equal parts excitement and apprehension. As they drew closer, the true extent of the damage became clear. The crystalline hull was riddled with impact marks that could only have come from weapons fire. "Life support is almost gone," Raj reported from his station. "We have maybe 10 minutes before total failure." The rescue pod's airlock sealed against the alien hull with a metallic clang. Dr. Yuki checked her medical scanner one last time while Raj calibrated his universal translator. Olivia took a deep breath, her hand hovering over the airlock release. "Remember," she said to her team, "we're making history here. But more importantly, we're saving lives. Stay focused, stay alert, and let's show them humanity's best face." The airlock cycled open, revealing a corridor that seemed to be carved from living crystal. Emergency lights pulsed weakly along the walls, casting rainbow shadows that danced across their environmental suits. The air was thin, barely breathable, and getting thinner by the second. They found the first survivor in what appeared to be the ship's control center. The alien was humanoid but tall and slender, with iridescent skin that mimicked the crystalline architecture of their vessel. It lay slumped over a control panel, breathing in shallow gasps. Dr. Yuki rushed forward, her scanner humming. Severe internal injuries, but stable for now. The atmosphere loss is the immediate threat. As they worked to stabilize the first alien, a sound drew Olivia's attention. Down a darkened corridor, she heard what could only be described as crying. Following the sound, she found two more aliens huddled together in what seemed to be living quarters. One was clearly younger, clinging to the other in terror. The adult alien looked up at Olivia with multifaceted eyes that somehow conveyed both fear and hope. It raised a six-fingered hand in what might have been a peaceful gesture. Olivia removed her helmet, hoping to appear less threatening. The thin air burned her lungs, but she managed a smile and extended her own hand, palm up. "We're here to help," she said, knowing the translator would convey her meaning if not her exact words. The alien's skin shifted color, from deep blue to a softer violet. It spoke, the translator rendering its words. "Others ignored our distress call. Why did you come?" Olivia's smile widened despite the burning in her lungs. "Because that's what humans do. We help where we can, when we can. Now, let's get you somewhere safe." The USS Horizon's medical bay hummed with activity as Dr. Yuki and her team worked to stabilize their alien patients. The crystalline beings, who called themselves the Lumini, lay on specially modified biobeds that accommodated their unique physiology. Their iridescent skin pulsed with weak patterns of light that Dr. Yuki had learned indicated their vital signs. "Their cellular structure is fascinating," she murmured, studying the holographic displays above the youngest Lumini. "They literally process light as part of their metabolic functions. No wonder they were failing in that damaged ship, they needed the crystal architecture to maintain their biological processes." Commander Olivia Santos watched through the observation window, her reflection ghostly against the sterile white walls. The adult Lumini they'd rescued from the control room, who had introduced himself as First Navigator Zephyr, had finally stabilized enough to speak with her. "Your technology is different," Zephyr observed, his skin rippling with patterns of curious blue-green light. "But effective. We owe you our lives." "We're just glad we found you in time," Olivia replied. "But I need to understand what happened. Who attacked you, and why?" Zephyr's lights dimmed to a somber purple. We're peaceful explorers. Our home system lies beyond what you call the Perseus Arm. We had no weapons, no defenses. We never thought we'd need them." His crystalline features shifted in what might have been a grimace. "The Drachnid found us 3 cycles ago. They are consumers. They destroy civilizations and take what remains." Raj, who had been quietly working at a nearby console, looked up sharply. "The energy weapon signatures we detected on your hull, they match readings we've picked up from the edge of human space. We thought they were sensor ghosts." "They are coming," Zephyr said softly. "We were not their only target. We were merely the first to escape with proof of their existence." His skin flared with urgent red patterns. "You must warn your people. The Drachnid do not negotiate. They do not show mercy. They—" A sudden alarm cut through the medical bay. Lieutenant Park's voice crackled over the intercom, "Commander to the bridge. Multiple ships dropping out of FTL at the edge of our sensor range." Olivia was already moving. "Raj, with me. Dr. Yuki, keep our guest stable." She paused at the door, looking back at Zephyr. "We're not going to abandon you." On the bridge, the tactical display showed 3 massive vessels approaching on an intercept course. Their design was angular and predatory, bristling with weapon ports. "No response to hails," Lieutenant Park reported, her fingers flying over the communications console. "They're charging weapons." Commander Walsh stepped forward. "We should retreat. The Horizon is a research vessel, we're not equipped for combat against multiple hostile warships." Olivia studied the tactical display, her mind racing. The Horizon might not be a warship, but it had something these Drachnid hadn't encountered before: human ingenuity. Raj, what do we know about their ship sensor capabilities? The science officer analyzed the incoming data. They're using some kind of quantum resonance scanning system. Very advanced, but... His eyes lit up with understanding. But they'd be completely vulnerable to a properly modulated verteron pulse. Can we generate one strong enough to matter? If we reconfigure the shield harmonics to... Another alarm blared. They're launching fighters. Park announced. 30 seconds to weapon range. Do it, Olivia ordered. David, begin evacuation procedures for non-essential personnel. Dr. Yuki, prepare to move our guests to the emergency shelter deck. Everyone else, battle stations. The Horizon's shields hummed to life as Raj worked frantically at his station. The first volley of Drachnid weapons fire splashed against their defenses, making the entire ship shudder. Shields at 60%. Park reported. We can't take many more hits like that. Verteron pulse ready, Raj announced. But we'll have to drop our shields for 3 seconds to fire it. Olivia gripped her command chair. Lieutenant Park, plot an evasive course through their fighter screen. On my mark, drop shields, fire the pulse, and execute the course. The bridge crew held their breath as the fighters closed in. Olivia watched the tactical display, waiting for the perfect moment and the enemy ships would be in optimal position. Now. The Horizon's shields dropped. For 3 terrifying seconds, they were completely vulnerable. Enemy fire streaked toward them, and then the Verteron pulse fired. A wave of invisible energy rippled out from the ship, and suddenly the Drachnid vessels went dark. Their fighters, now flying blind, scattered in confusion. Direct hit. Raj exclaimed. Their sensors are completely scrambled. But the effect will only last for a few minutes. That's all we need, Olivia said. Helm, get us out of here. Maximum speed. As the Horizon accelerated away from the disabled Drachnid ships, Olivia knew this was only the beginning. They had saved 3 lives and gained valuable intelligence about a new threat to humanity, but they had also made powerful enemies. In the medical bay, the young Lumini's skin glowed with patterns of gold and silver, their expression of hope. Despite the danger, despite the odds against them, they had found allies willing to stand against the darkness. They had found humanity. Send an encrypted transmission to Earth Command, Olivia ordered. Priority 1. The galaxy just got a lot more dangerous, but humanity is ready to rise to the challenge. The USS Horizon streaked through space, its engines pushed beyond recommended limits. In the ship's tactical center, Commander Olivia Santos studied the long-range sensor data with growing concern. The Drachnid vessels had recovered from the Verteron pulse faster than expected and were now in pursuit, their superior engines slowly closing the gap. How long until we reach the nearest human outpost? She asked, not taking her eyes off the display. Lieutenant Park consulted her readings. 6 hours at current speed, Commander. The Drachnid will catch us in 4. And no response from Earth Command? The Drachnid are flooding all subspace frequencies with interference, Raj reported from his station. We're completely cut off. In the corner of the tactical center, First Navigator Zephyr watched with crystalline features set in what Olivia had learned was an expression of deep concern. His youngest child, whom they now knew as Nova, rested in the medical bay with their other parent, Stellar, both still recovering from their ordeal. The Drachnid never give up a hunt, Zephyr said quietly. In all our records, no one has ever escaped them once marked as prey. Olivia's lips curved into a slight smile. Then they've never hunted humans before. She turned to her crew. What resources do we have? Commander Walsh began listing them off. 3 quantum torpedoes, standard shields, and whatever we can power with our remaining energy reserves. We also have the sensor data from our first encounter. The Verteron pulse won't work again, Raj added. They've already adapted their shielding. But... He paused, his eyes lighting up with that look Olivia had come to recognize as the birth of an idea. Commander, what if we use their own tactics against them? Explain. Raj's fingers flew across his console, pulling up analysis of the Drachnid weapons. Their main advantage is their ability to coordinate attacks perfectly across their fleet. They use quantum entanglement for instantaneous communication between ships. But that level of connection could be their weakness, Olivia finished, catching on. If we could disrupt that connection, they'd be forced to fight as individuals rather than a coordinated force, Walsh concluded. But how do we break quantum entanglement? Zephyr's skin suddenly pulsed with bright patterns. The crystals from our ship, he said urgently. They're not just structural materials, they're conscious technology. They can manipulate quantum states. If we could integrate them with your systems, it would be incredibly dangerous, Raj cautioned. We'd be merging two completely different technologies. The power feedback alone could tear the ship apart. Olivia stood straight, decision made. Better that than waiting to be torn apart by the Drachnid. Make it happen. The next 3 hours were a blur of activity. While Dr. Yuki and her team worked to safely extract crystals from the remains of the Lumini vessel they'd towed along, Raj and Zephyr labored to interface the alien technology with the Horizon systems. The entire ship hummed with an odd resonance as the crystals came online, their conscious networks reaching out to merge with human technology. 2 minutes until Drachnid weapons range, Park announced, her voice tense. Olivia took her command chair, feeling the strange new vibrations through the deck plates. Status of the crystal integration? Online, Raj reported, though his voice was strained. But it's barely stable. We'll get one shot at this. Their lead vessel is charging weapons, Walsh warned. All hands, battle stations, Olivia commanded. Helm, on my mark, execute attack pattern Delta 7. Raj, prepare to initiate the quantum disruption. Dr. Yuki, secure all patients. The first Drachnid shots streaked past the Horizon's bow, a clear warning. A harsh voice cut through their comm system, surrender the Lumini fugitives and your deaths will be quick. Olivia opened a channel. This is Commander Santos of the Earth vessel Horizon. We don't respond well to threats. She nodded to Raj. Now. The integrated crystals pulsed with blinding light as they released their quantum disruption wave. For a moment, nothing seemed to happen. Then the Drachnid ships suddenly broke formation, their perfectly coordinated movements dissolving into chaos. 2 of their vessels nearly collided, while the third fired its weapons in a random pattern that missed the Horizon completely. Direct hit. Raj exclaimed. Their quantum network is completely shattered. Helm, execute attack pattern, Olivia ordered. Target their weapons arrays with quantum torpedoes. Let's show them why you don't corner a human ship. The Horizon dove between the disoriented Drachnid vessels, its smaller size now an advantage as it delivered precise strikes to their vulnerable weapon systems. Without their coordination, the massive warships were too slow to track the nimble research vessel. But victory came with a price. The crystal integration was destabilizing, sending power surges through the Horizon systems. Commander, Raj called out, his voice urgent, the crystals are going critical. We need to eject them before. An explosion rocked the ship as one of the crystal nodes overloaded. Emergency containment fields snapped into place as warning klaxons blared. Helm, get us clear. Olivia ordered. Raj, emergency ejection of all crystal nodes. Park, target the crystals as soon as they're clear, their detonation should cover our escape. As the crew carried out her orders, Olivia turned to find Zephyr watching her with an unreadable expression, his skin shifting through patterns she'd never seen before. "You would sacrifice our sacred technology to save your ship?" he asked. "To save all our lives," she corrected. "Technology can be rebuilt. Lives can't be replaced." The crystals ejected into space just as the Drachnid ships began to recover their coordination. When the quantum torpedoes struck the drifting nodes, they detonated in a cascade of quantum energy that briefly lit up space brighter than a sun. When the light faded, the horizon was gone, racing toward human space with its precious cargo of refugees and a warning about the threat to come. Behind them, the damaged Drachnid ships drifted, their crews forced to face something they'd never encountered before: defeat. In the horizon's medical bay, young Nova's skin glowed with patterns of amazement as Dr. Yuki showed her holographic images of Earth. For the first time since their rescue, the child's fear was replaced by wonder at the thought of a new home among these strange, brave beings called humans. The USS Horizon limped through space, its hull bearing the scars of battle. In the ship's conference room, Commander Olivia Santos faced a wall of holographic displays showing the grim faces of Earth Command's Admiralty. She had just finished briefing them on the Drachnid threat and their Lumini refugees. "Let me be clear, Commander," Admiral Reyes said, her silver hair gleaming under distant stars. "You're telling us that an advanced hostile species is systematically destroying civilizations, and they now know about Earth?" "Yes, Admiral. And they'll be coming for us next." Olivia gestured to First Navigator Zephyr, who stood beside her. His crystalline form shimmered with patterns of urgent crimson and gold. "The Lumini have provided detailed intelligence about Drachnid capabilities and tactics. Intelligence that cost them their homeworld," Zephyr added, his translator rendering his musical language into stark English. "We offer it freely to humanity, along with what remains of our quantum crystal technology." A murmur ran through the assembled admirals. Earth scientists had been studying the salvaged crystal fragments with growing excitement. Even the damaged pieces demonstrated technological principles centuries beyond human understanding. "Multiple contacts detected." Lieutenant Park's voice cut through the conference room speakers. "Signature matches Drachnid warships, at least 20 vessels." Olivia's blood ran cold. "How did they find us so quickly?" "They must have tracked the quantum resonance from the crystal fragments," Raj theorized, his fingers dancing across sensor controls. "They're forming a blockade between us and Earth space." Admiral Reyes leaned forward in her display. "Commander Santos, you're too valuable to lose. The Horizon carries the only hard intelligence we have about this threat. Retreat to." "With respect, Admiral," Olivia interrupted, "we're too damaged to outrun them. And I won't lead them to another human outpost." She straightened her uniform. "Request permission to engage." "That's suicide, Commander. The Horizon is a research vessel, not a warship." "No," Olivia agreed, a slight smile playing at her lips. "We're something better. We're human." She turned to her crew. "Dr. Yuki, how's your progress with the medical crystals?" The doctor's eyes lit up. "The biological interface is stable. If Zephyr's theories are correct." "They are," the Lumini confirmed, his skin pulsing with determination. "Our healing crystals can be modified to transmit quantum effects through organic matter. We never weaponized the technology because our people abhorred violence. But against the Drachnid." "Do it," Olivia ordered. She faced the Admiralty again. "Request emergency broadcast of this channel to all Earth ships in range. They need to see what happens next." Before anyone could object, the conference room shook as the first Drachnid shots struck their shields. Olivia rushed to the bridge, Zephyr close behind. The tactical display showed a wall of enemy ships moving to surround them. "Shields at 40%, Walsh reported grimly. "We won't survive another full barrage." "We don't need to," Olivia said. "Raj, status of the crystal integration?" Dr. Yuki reports ready. But Commander, this is completely theoretical. We have no idea what channeling quantum effects through the crew will actually do. Then let's find out. Olivia opened a ship-wide channel. All hands, this is the Commander. What we're about to attempt has never been done before. But that's what humans do, we push boundaries, we take risks, and we survive. Stand by for crystal activation. She nodded to Dr. Yuki's image on the screen. Do it. The modified healing crystals pulsed with brilliant light. Every crew member felt a strange sensation, as if their consciousness was suddenly expanded. Through the quantum link, they could feel each other's presence, their thoughts and actions synchronizing with inhuman precision. Incredible, Raj whispered, his eyes wide. We're achieving neural quantum entanglement through the crystal matrix. The entire crew is acting as a single coordinated system. Just like the Drachnid, Olivia said, understanding dawning. But with human creativity and adaptability. Helm, attack pattern Epsilon. All hands, prepare for combat maneuvers. The Horizon moved with impossible grace, its every system optimized by the collective consciousness of its crew. When the Drachnid opened fire, the ship was already gone, retaliating with perfectly timed shots that found gaps in enemy shields. Multiple Earth ships detected. Park announced jubilantly. They're responding to our broadcast. 12 vessels dropping out of FTL. The human reinforcements arrived to find something unprecedented, a single research vessel dancing between Drachnid warships, striking with surgical precision. Through the quantum link, Olivia felt her crew's exhilaration, their fear transformed into focused determination. Captain Rodriguez of the USS Valiant hailed them, Commander Santos, the cavalry has arrived. Care to share whatever magic you're working? Stand by for crystal frequency transmission, Olivia replied. Let's show these Drachnid what happens when humanity and the Lumini work together. As the healing crystal's influence spread to the other Earth ships, a new kind of battle unfolded. Human vessels moved in perfect coordination, their crews linked in a vast quantum network that preserved individual creativity while enabling unprecedented teamwork. The Drachnid, faced with an enemy that had mastered their own tactics while transcending their limitations, began to retreat. Their methodical, emotionless efficiency was no match for the combination of human ingenuity and Lumini technology. In the Horizon's medical bay, young Nova watched the battle through the ship sensors, their skin glowing with patterns of pure wonder. Is this what humans are always like? They asked Dr. Yuki. The doctor smiled, feeling the quantum link humming through her mind. No, little one. This is humanity when we rise to meet a challenge. When we stand united. And thanks to your people's gift, we're standing taller than ever before. As the last Drachnid ships fled, Olivia felt something else through the quantum link, not just victory, but the dawn of a new era. Humanity had found not only allies in the Lumini, but a path to becoming something greater than either species could have achieved alone. 6 months after the Battle of the Quantum Link, as historians were already calling it, Earth's orbital platforms bustled with unprecedented activity. Crystal spires rose between traditional steel and glass structures, their surfaces shimmering with the distinctive patterns of Lumini architecture. Below them, the blue marble of Earth turned peacefully, now protected by a network of quantum-linked defense platforms that combined human and Lumini technology. Commander Olivia Santos, now Admiral Santos, stood in the newly constructed Harmony Station's observation deck, watching a group of human and Lumini children playing in the zero-gravity recreation area. Young Nova, now fluent in English and 3 other Earth languages, led the group in a game that combined elements of tag with traditional Lumini light pattern dancing. They adapt so quickly, Zephyr observed, his crystalline form refracting starlight as he moved to stand beside her. Both are species young. They don't see differences, they see possibilities. That's why we're putting the new academy here, Olivia replied, gesturing to the massive structure taking shape nearby. The first joint human Lumini training facility. A place where both our peoples can learn from each other. The door chimed, admitting Commander Walsh, now captain of the USS Horizon, and Raj, whose new position as Chief of Xenotechnology Research kept him busy coordinating projects between human and Lumini scientists. The latest reports from the Quantum Sensor Network, Walsh announced, his expression serious. We've detected Drachnid fleet movements in 3 more sectors. They're gathering forces. Let them come, Raj said with quiet confidence. The quantum crystal integration has been successfully replicated across 60% of Earth's fleet. Within another month, we'll have full coverage. And that's not counting the breakthroughs we've made in other areas. He was right. The partnership between humans and Lumini had accelerated technological development beyond anyone's wildest expectations. Human creativity and innovation, combined with Lumini crystal technology and biological interfaces, had produced achievements that would have taken centuries to develop independently. Admiral, Lieutenant Park's voice came through the comm system. The Council is ready for you. Olivia straightened her uniform. Time to make history again. The Council chamber represented another miracle of human Lumini cooperation. The circular room adapted to each occupant's biological needs, its crystal-infused walls providing the light frequencies Lumini required while maintaining comfortable atmospheric conditions for humans. Representatives from Earth's nations sat alongside survivors from various Lumini colonies, their differences bridged by shared purpose. The motion before us today, Council President Chen began, is the formal ratification of the Earth Lumini Defense Accord. This agreement will commit our peoples to mutual defense, shared technological development, and cultural exchange. Stellar, now Earth's chief Lumini cultural advisor, raised their crystalline hand. Their skin pulsed with formal patterns of deep blue and silver. We have not forgotten that humanity stood alone in offering us aid when we fled the Drachnid. You risked everything to save a handful of refugees. This accord is built on trust already earned. And we haven't forgotten what your people have taught us, Olivia responded. The quantum link showed us something profound, that we're stronger together than apart. Not just humans and Lumini, but all beings who choose cooperation over conquest. Dr. Yuki, who had recently published groundbreaking research on human Lumini medical applications, stood to address the council. The healing crystals have already revolutionized our understanding of medicine. Diseases once thought incurable are yielding to treatment. The potential for improving life across both our species is limitless. The council chamber's displays showed scenes from across Earth and the growing network of joint colonies, human children learning to read Lumini light patterns while their crystalline counterparts studied Earth art and music, scientists of both species working side by side to develop new technologies, diplomatic teams preparing to reach out to other civilizations with offers of alliance against the Drachnid threat. The vote stands at unanimous approval, President Chen announced. The Earth Lumini Defense Accord is hereby ratified. As celebration erupted in the chamber, Olivia felt a tug at her sleeve. Nova stood there, their skin glowing with patterns of joy and curiosity. Admiral, they said in perfect English, does this mean we're really one people now? Olivia knelt beside the child who had come so far from that desperate rescue 6 months ago. We're something even better, she said. We're proof that different peoples can come together and build something greater than either could imagine alone. And that's just the beginning. Later, on the observation deck, Olivia watched Earth's first quantum crystal shipyard begin construction on a new vessel, one that would combine the best of both civilizations. Its name was already chosen, USS Unity. The Drachnid thought they would find easy prey, Zephyr mused, watching the construction. Instead, they created something they never expected, a union of species that grows stronger with each passing day. That's the thing about humans, Olivia replied with a smile. When you corner us, we don't just fight back, we change the rules of the game. And now, with your people's help, we're changing the rules for the entire galaxy. As if to emphasize her words, a group of ships emerged from FTL near the station, representatives from 3 other species, coming to discuss joining the growing alliance. Their arrival was heralded by a rainbow of lights from the station's crystal arrays, a welcome message written in the universal language of hope. The hunters had become builders. The pursued had become protectors. And somewhere in the vast darkness of space, the Drachnid were about to learn that the galaxy had changed forever. Humanity and the Lumini had written a new chapter in cosmic history, one of unity, innovation, and the unlimited potential of cooperation across the stars. End.